Hey everybody, today we are going to plan a letter that we want to write. Alright, so what you can do here is you are going to write a letter that is a narrative. Now a narrative means a personal story, something that happened in your life, not 10,000 things, just one thing in particular, and that is the narrative that you are going to write about. Alright? So think about an experience you will tell about in your letter. This will be the topic of your letter. Think about the audience for whom your letter will be written to and complete the story map with your details for your letter. So this is just like that web we did when we did our other writings. It's just you're writing everything down so you'll know what to write about later. Alright, you're writing what you're thinking. Alright, so I am going to write about the time that, let's see, me and my best friend Julie flipped a canoe while we were in the pond one day. Alright, so my characters would be me and Julie. I'm going to put in parentheses that she's my, oh my goodness, that's some horrible handwriting. Let me rewrite her name. Julie. Alright. Who's my best friend? I'm going to write that so I don't forget to put that in my letter. Alright, and then my setting. So my setting would be at Julie's house. In the pond. Or how about this? The pond at Julie's house. That sounds better. So the pond at Julie's. Where? Alright, there you go. Notice how I put an apostrophe S on that. Alright, so now we need to figure out how I'm going to start my letter. Alright, in the beginning. So I have the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and then the end of the story. Alright, so what happened in the beginning of the story was that we took the canoe out to the pond. Alright, so we got the canoe and took it to the pond. That is the main idea. Just took the canoe to the pond. Alright, so that's my main idea for the first part of my story, the beginning part. Now, details I can add is that it was the middle of the day. Alright, so let me do this in different colors so we won't get confused. Alright, it was the middle of the day, so it was really hot. Let's see, what else? The pond was shaped like a circle, so it's a circle-shaped pond. Alright, so that's my details for that. Alright, and then the next part is the middle of my story. So this can be where the canoe flipped. Alright, so I can put my main idea for the second paragraph of my, or the third paragraph technically, because these two paragraphs are here are going to be my intro paragraphs. Alright, then the beginning paragraph, or the beginning part of my story, which will be the second paragraph. Third paragraph would be the middle of my story. Okay, so I can put that the canoe flipped. Alright, so that is my main idea for my second paragraph. Alright, and now I'm also going to write for my details. Alright, it flipped because I was shaking it. Alright, shaking the canoe. Alright, and I can write that, I was shaking the canoe. We got scared, or we freaked out. I'll put we freaked out because we were in the middle of the pond, middle of the pond. Alright, that's just gonna remind me that I want to add that later. Okay. Alright. And then my last part of my story, which is the end part of my story, so I need to end it somehow, you know. I'm going to write that we made it to shore we made it to shore without the canoe. So the canoe was still in the middle of the pond. I'm going to do this. If you ever want to put a quick version of without, just put a W / and then put out next to it. Now don't do that when you're actually writing something. Only do this when you are planning or you need to make a quick note for yourself. You can put that so you don't have to put the whole word. It saves you some time. Alright, to shore without the canoe. Alright. Then I'm going to get my green again. I'm going to add some more details so I don't forget to make my, this is to make my writing look better. To make my story sound better. People don't want to listen to a boring story, so you have to add details. Now notice I'm only giving details about what my story is about. I'm not talking about I flipped a canoe with Julie one day, and then that same day we went and had Chinese food. That's not the part of my story. The part of my story is that we flipped a canoe. That is the main part of my story, okay? I forgot to write that up here. So make sure when you write your topic, you write, I'm just going to write canoe flip. Alright, because I don't have a lot of writing. Alright, and then my audience will be my class. Alright, so I'm writing it for my students. Okay? Alright, so we made it shore without the canoe. Back at the bottom here. Alright, so some details I can add is that we lost a paddle. Or the paddle got stuck in the ground. The paddle... Not battle. Paddle. The paddle got stuck in the middle. I'm also going to add that we were scared of snapping turtles. Those are some mean turtles, man. They'll bite you. Alright, snapping turtles. And then I put, we actually went swimming afterwards. Because we did. We went, or we tried to go get the paddle. Alright, now if you run out of room, you can just do like me and add it at the bottom. No big deal. Alright, and that is my narrative. Now remember, a narrative means that I'm writing a personal story, something that happened in my life, and I'm sharing it. I have my topic. It's about the canoe flip. My audience is my class. My characters are me and Julie. Then I put where the setting happened. The setting was the pond at Julie's house. Remember, setting is the place where your story is taking place. Okay? If you're talking about going roller skating, then the setting would clearly be the roller rink. It'd be the place where you go skating at. If you were talking about going bowling, the setting would be the bowling alley. Okay? Then I have my beginning. What happened at the beginning? We took the canoe to the pond. I gave details to make it sound more interesting, to elaborate on it. The middle part, the canoe flipped. I gave us details of how it flipped and where it was at. And then the end of it, we made it to shore without the canoe. And then I added some details to make my story interesting. So that is what you guys are going to do. You're going to work on the... you're going to work on the planning with a story map on page 62, okay? Alright, and you see this right here? So save this page. Do not lose this page. If you lose this page, you're going to get super confused. Put it somewhere safe. I don't care if you have to put it inside of your pillowcase so you know where it's at. Put it somewhere you're not going to forget it. Okay? And that's it, guys.